Our next virtue is benevolence. Benevolence is silent goodwill. Benevolence is a silent goodwill. It is like the sun shining on hard ground, softening the earth, melting the ice, but with no design or intention to heal. This is a natural virtue where you have goodwill, but there is no desire, no intention of healing. It's the state of mind who always feels to give. It's always like shining on a hard ground, softening the earth, melting the ice. It is a state of naturalness, which is why it works. Because the ground feels no depth to the sun. There is no depth given to the sun. In the same way, to be on the receiving end of benevolence is to be receiving something for which there is no return. Very important, because benevolence is a naturalness. It's nothing to deal with an intention of giving and taking. Not even a pressure to respond, which is why one does so easily. There is no pressure on the other souls that they have to give me something. That's benevolence. Benevolence is a state of being reliant on itself alone. It has nothing to do with feelings of mercy or preference, sudden stabs of love. It just is. What is it trying to say? That it's a state of being. It's reliant on itself. It's a state. In this, it's very much important to clear that it's not giving mercy or preference or sudden stabs of love. It's nothing that suddenly you feel like giving love. It's not like suddenly you feel some mercy and you start giving. And it's nothing to have anything in return. It offers nothing specific, but everyone is drawn to it. It answers no questions, but it enables you to think. So beautiful that it offers nothing specific. It is not giving specially to something, someone. It is drawn. Naturally, the soul is drawn to do this thing. It has to not answer any questions. It is not for the purpose of giving. It enables you to think. It teaches nothing, but because of it you can learn. It has no intention of giving a learning also, because benevolence is a state. So you can learn. To be benevolent is to have forged a link so strong. To be benevolent is to have forged a link so strong with an unbroken source of energy that even the interruptions of life cannot block that constant refueling. However dry life is, the tide keeps turning again and again, always. And in the moments just before turning, when life has taken you to the limits, you just know that you are on the brink of a great inflow, and you stay quiet, acknowledging temporary emptiness only as a prelude. Only if you hurt someone does the tide stop turning and you are grounded and have to fight. What is it saying? That benevolent feeling is very strong and it has nothing to do. It's an unbroken source. It has nothing to do with the interruptions that block our fuel. Even the life is dry, this tide keeps turning again and again. And in the moments just before turning, the moments are when your life are on the limits, on the brink, and you stay quiet, just knowing that this is temporary emptiness. Only if you hurt someone in that time, the tide stops turning and you are grounded and you have to fight. So, the grounded means now the tide which was working has stopped. So, to have become benevolent is the best help you can be to anyone, because benevolence has no shape any more than sunlight, but it can filter into the quiet corners of panic. It can filter into the quiet corners of panic in a person's mind and lighten the burden. See, what is it saying? That the best help we can give anyone is benevolence. Why? Because it has no shape, it has just sunlight, and it can even filter in any, it like sun rays can reach wherever. So it will also filter, pass through quiet corners of panic in a person's mind. And when this benevolence flows, it lightens the burden. It is the least intrusive virtue, and it is welcomed everywhere. It is least intrusive and it's not still visible, it's not being seen, but it's welcomed everywhere. Everyone loves this. So, let's summarize this again. Benevolence is just a state where you give like a sun and it goes through each person, and it has no intentions to get anything in return. It has no feelings of mercy, any love, nothing specific. And it teaches nothing, it answers nothing, but there is lots to think, lots to learn. And even though in any phase of life, benevolence is never incomplete, it is still there. It's like a tide going and coming again and again. But yes, during the time when there are tough times, if we hurt someone, then the tide of benevolence turns and you're grounded and you have to fight. So, this is a very beautiful virtue. It is a help. So, we need to inculcate this value in our life. It's a silent goodwill. Om Shanti.